I remember watching the challenge when it first started. Like, I remember the game players. I remember the games. I mean, it's the challenge. Like, doesn't everyone watch the challenge?
My favorite challenge memory, DM taking her wig off and competing just with, you know, her natural hair, which she was beautiful, by the way. To me, that was one of the coolest things that I've seen. I may or may not have got choked up a little bit, and I'm not a very emotional guy.
The one memory I'll never forget is when Julie tried to kill Veronica, and I was literally screaming at the TV like I was there. And then a couple of years, I kind of was there. I was like in the TV, like a couple years later.
It was off the coast of Bora Bora, and we went to this little tiny island that this guy who from America inhabited, and he had these two daughters, and they took us snorkeling in their playground. That was one of the best memories. Why am I crying? Okay.
My favorite season of the challenge is definitely season 37. Number one, it's my favorite number. Number two, we all worked together and it was such a strong alliance, and there's so many daily wins.
Spies, Lies, and Allies, I'm about to say, is my favorite, even though they were all fun.
My favorite season that I've ever been on in the challenge would have to be Free Agents. It was heartbreaking because I lost Tamara, the wig. May she rest in peace. But honestly, look, y'all were probably surprised to see me in the final. I was surprised to see me in the final, but being able to get there and then complete it was just a game changer for me.
I never watched my shows air with anybody. I always just watched them alone. Probably to make sure everything was good before I showed them to others.
I think my favorite challenge season that I've been a part of would have to be the Gauntlet 3. I had a whole lot of Real World Austin cast members with me there, and your boy won.
Inferno 2, aka Inferno 2 in Manzanillo, Mexico.
Duel 1. I've never pushed myself to such an extent. It was from the start to finish, no breaks, all gas. And I will say, there's nothing like running up a mountain in Rio for 6.5 hours straight and laying in the grass trying to figure out if you're having a heart attack, only to hear the helicopter coming around the mountain.
Duel 1, Duel 2 were really fun for me. I got to meet DM, who became a really big part of my life.
Cutthroat. It was the first challenge that I had done where I was single and I didn't have Danny along with me. I really thought that I had shown how tough I was on that season.
All Stars 2 is my favorite season because I finally feel like I'm completely authentically myself at every moment.
You know, I've been doing this for 20 years. I love it. It's adult summer camp for me.
Argentina is like my home away from challenge home.
Argentina was beautiful, absolutely breathtaking.
There's just something magical about that environment, and I feel like it brought out the best in each and every one of our competitors.
Argentina, but Mexico is coming up right behind there.
Huatuco, Mexico. The house was sick, the weather was incredible.
Italy is everything.
Croatia? I love Croatia. I mean, it's awesome.
And then we were in Turkey, which is one of the best locations they've ever had. And then we got to go to Africa, and it's like, who goes from Turkey to Africa in one trip?
100% South Africa. I actually went there on my honeymoon because I loved it so much.
My favorite location, hands down, New Zealand. It's just rolling hills with glaciers and pristine water.
Probably one of the most beautiful places that I had ever visited in my life.
Favorite season of the challenge that I've watched as a fan? I think Free Agents was really good. I think the first Rivals was really good.
One of the most iconic clips ever from this show is the sit down between Wes and CT.
This moment where CT and Wes are throwing beds over balconies and going crazy. I mean, Rivals definitely for me is just some of the best seasons that I've watched of the challenge.
If you know anything about the island was probably the worst season for anybody to ever want to be a part of, whether you're on cast or crew. It was torture, but for some reason, I was hooked. I loved it, I wanted to be a part of it. I guess I love torturing myself.
I remember watching War of the Worlds, I believe it was, and I thought it was like a movie. These are action heroes walking in, things are exploding. It's so cinematic and crazy. I'm like, I can't believe I used to be part of that show.
Watching the challenge at home is so weird, and I'm yelling at them oh my God, what are you thinking? You're stupid. It's not that hard. And I'm wait, you're just sitting on the couch eating bonbons and drinking whiskey.